The long-awaited trial of former apartheid cop Joao Rodrigues may only get underway next year. Rodrigues is facing murder charges for the death of anti-apartheid activist Ahmed Timol. Timol fell to his death in 1971 from the 10th floor whilst in custody at the notorious John Vorster Police station in Johannesburg.
Former apartheid cop Joao Rodrigues returned to the South Gauteng High Court this morning for a brief appearance. It was expected for the proceedings on how exactly the criminal trial was going to take place was expected to be detailed out today. However, it's still unknown whether or not Rodrigues' counsel will be petitioning the Supreme Court of Appeal for that application for a permanent stay of charges. We know that his two bids were denied last week, Wednesday. The South Gauteng ruled against his leave for appeal for the permanent stay for prosecution. Rodrigues is facing murder charges for the death of Ahmed Timol, who fell from a 10th floor of John Vorster Police station in 1971. An inquest in 1972 ruled that it was suicide. However, a more recent inquest found that it was not suicide and ruled it as murder. That opened up the criminal charge, which we are now waiting for the trial date to go forward. We know that Rodrigues will return to court at the end of the year, but it's unclear whether or not we will see his day in court before the end of the year. But with me to speak more on the case is someone who's been very close to this trial, Imtiaz Gaji, the nephew of Ahmed Timol. You've been part of this process right from the beginning. Let's start with today. We've heard that we once again not sure whether or not he will be petitioning for that leave to appeal, and he will return to court in December. But before that, there's a lot that's going to be happening in the next few months. Can you just talk us through those applications and processes?
Yes, Hasina. Judge Munama was very clear that the legal teams will be meeting on the 21st of October in chambers, where we will then ascertain whether Rodrigues' legal counsel will be petitioning the SCA. And he has already provisionally set a trial date for the 12th of December 2019. So at least, this matter is finally moving and progressing, and we should have some clearer indication onto the way forward, when they meet in chambers on the 21st of October this year.
Judge Munama did mention a few things during his orders while he was handing down orders this morning, and one of them was around, I think this is also something the defense has brought up, that a fair trial for Rodrigues should be ascertained throughout this, and he is still not guilty until he has his day in court. There were other matters that he brought in, and some of them were regards to the state as well as the police that are involved. Can you just explain to us?
Look, Judge Munama was once again scathing on the huge legal costs that is incurred by the state. We should not forget that Joao Rodrigues' legal team are being funded by you and I as taxpayers. And Judge was making the point this morning that he's got 3 legal representatives. His instructing attorney, Mr. Minar, previously worked at the State Attorney's Office, now in private practice. And the judge was very clear, referring to this as deep pockets. So in other words, they've got no implications on the financial costs incurred by the state. So for as long as possible that they continue delaying this particular matter, this seriously concerned the judge, and that is why he's pushing very, very aggressively for an expedited criminal trial date, which has been set for the 12th of December. But to re-emphasize that Rodrigues remains an accused, he's not found guilty, he's presumed innocent until he has his day in court.
Thank you so much. That was Mr. Gaji speaking to us outside the South Gauteng High Court, just detailing to us when the case is expected to return to the court and when will the criminal trial begin. That's it for now. Back to you in studio.